go back and check the group and make sure we're in the group. You know, I think we were in the group the first time. But that's okay. We're in the group again. Make sure. Okay, fantastic. Let me jump back over to Google. All right, guys, I'm going to give a couple of minutes. I know Nadim and Eduardo were coming. I don't know if anybody else planned on coming in for today. But if not, you're missing all the cool paperwork stuff that we're going to do. So you guys are just going to have to use a regular piece of paper. Because I can't give you paper through the computer. And then... All right, guys, so I'm going to give us a few minutes, and then we will jump right in, okay? Oh, that's not for you.
I was putting it.
It will be. Just give me a second. I got to pass them all out. There are donuts there, kolaches if you guys eat. If you want breakfast, I mean, I'm going to grab scissors and...
Okay.
Scissors.
You alright, man?
What's cooking, man? Tell me. How's it going with the deal?
Good, man. Yesterday, I don't have paperwork. Yesterday, I put in 2 more offers for 2 other people. Hopefully, those go through. Yeah, I don't have paperwork at all.
Nobody likes paperwork. Salespeople don't like paperwork. They only like to sell.
Yeah, but because I'm there and I want to make sure I'm making everything right, and I go over it 2 or 3 times. And then I send them and call our listing agent and say, what's going on? Try to get me friends with the listing agent.
Do you have a bigger packet? Because,
Me?
yeah, because you're catching up. We had a goal planning class in December. All right, so everybody who's online, I'm hoping you can hear me while I walk around, but I'm passing out packets. There's an I will statement packet, weekly to-do list, your 90-year worksheet, your 90-day year worksheet. And focus goals. So if you were not here in December with us, there's a little bit more that you could be doing. So I'll go over each of those, and then we'll kind of jump in. If you were here with us last year in December when we did our first goal planning for the whole year, you're going to get the weekly to-dos and the 90-day worksheet, because we've already done the I will statement and our focus goals for a long term. All right, Mr. Nadim,
Yeah.
there you go.
Thank you.
I will email everybody this packet so you can print it out yourself, or you can come grab a packet from me. I have a couple extra here. All right. I'm gonna grab some napkins, and if you guys want to grab coffee or a drink really quick before we get started, then we'll get rolling.
So I don't do too many leases, but that's your expertise, right? That's what you do. You've been doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on actually for a friend of mine. she needs an apartment. She called me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent her a couple of them yesterday, so I'm gonna go check again. The only thing I've seen is that in Memphis, I see that they'll put down how much they're gonna pay with their, agent.
Well, I think a smart apartment data. I'm very.
Do they list over there how much they're gonna pay?
Oh, yeah, we could check it out right now, or you could see.
Okay, I'm gonna see how that works out.
Yeah.
You
We'll
know,
look
I
at
think
it.
we were in the group the first time. I'll look at it after. All right, I am ready to roll. It looks like everybody is here who's going to be here. So I brought donuts and kolaches, guys, and you are missing out.
Yeah, we'll post a picture, you can lick it.
I can look the picture later.
Taste the picture.
I want a kolache, Kyle says. Kyle has to be online. It's not his fault.
Yeah. Well, let's say he can drive out here if he wants.
Kyle, it's only
Hey,
3
Dean,
hours.
how about you drive down here and visit?
Dude, the meeting is, oh yeah, maybe that's not a bad idea, I should.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go
yeah.
sell some real estate.
Well, I am looking into a couple of gas stations there at the area, so I might just take a drive out there. I'll go to Abilene, who knows?
Abilene, right? All right. Let's jump in and get started. So I'm going to share my screen. Maybe. We are going to jump back into this presentation that we did in December. So some of you guys are going to get little video of what we've already done, but hey, it's always good to be remotivated, right? Okay, so you got to reach your goals in 2021. In December, we went over multiple things. So the first thing we touched on was our focus goals. So focusing on the full year, long-term goals, midterm goals, short-term goals, and our 1-year goal. So we kind of divided that out. And let me see. Let me escape this really quick. Let me go back to camera just so, what is that noise? I don't know. Can everybody see me? I see Nadim. Nadim, can you see me? Okay. All right. What?
That's not me, right?
It's the TV.
Is the TV?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, found that.
But just
something
mute
that-
yourself though.
That is new,
Okay.
yeah.
Everybody's muted that's on. All right, let's hope that doesn't happen again. Okay, I'm gonna go quickly through these documents and I'll share again so that everybody who's not here knows. So this is what we did first and foremost in our meeting last year. So this was your 5-year goal, your 3-year goal, your 1-year goal, and what do you want to do in the next 6 months? So obviously we focused on our green square the most because, we're planning our 1 year of goals. But in order to get to that 1 year, you really have to think about, where do I want to be like in 5 years? Where do I want to be in 3 years? So really it's best to think of a really big goal. And again, aim high. I use the analogy of a bow and arrow. So I was a big nerdy archery person in school, and so they always told you, like, when you shoot your bow and arrow, your target's far away, that you're going to aim higher than the bullseye, because if you aim right at the bullseye, your arrow tends to always go down. No matter how hard you push, no matter how much force your arrow has, it's always going to bow down. So you want to aim high. So think of your big 5-year goal as something that seems almost unattainable to you right now. Okay, you're going to aim as high as you can for your 5-year goal. Where do I want to be? Do I want to have, a team? Do I want to have sold 1 million? Do I want to hit the Millionaires Club in 5 years? If that's what your goal is, that's fine. Do I want to, be in the, top producers list on D Magazine and I sold at least $10 million of real estate? those kind of things you want to mention, think about that. Where do I want to be? What's something that's just ridiculous that I really want to attain? That's where you put in your 5-year goal. In your 3-year goal, you think backwards. So what do I want to do? How can I get to that 5-year goal in 3 years? Where do I need to be? So if my goal was I want to be in the top producers list and I've sold $10 million, by year 3, I need to be selling like $5 to $7 million and have a really good system so that I'm just, producing. Okay, well, if I'm going to do that in 3 years, 7 million, 5 to 7 million in 3 years, in 1 year, I need to be past the Millionaires Club. I've got to be in the 2 Millionaires Club at least, 2 or 3 Millionaires Club. And
Get out and say, sure.
sorry, guys, these guys are being really loud. And then on the 6-month goal, you want to, like if your goal was to hit 3 million, then in 6 months, I need to be in the Millionaires Club. So what do I need to do today to get me 6 months from now in the Millionaires Club? I need to be selling big homes. Like I need to sell 2 500 plus homes. So that's how this document works. So for those of you who are not here, I'm going to email this to you, but you could just write this down. 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, 6 months, okay? And last year I gave you guys a lot of time to kind of go through these and actually put down your goals. Today we will do some goal planning, but what I want you guys to do, for those of you who are a little bit newer, is touch base with me. Let's talk through your goals on these ones, okay? Like if you're not really sure where you want to be, let's talk. Make some time with me and put it on my calendar, please, because it's getting a little crazy. The next page you guys are going to get is the 90-day year worksheet. This is where we're going to work today, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but this is what it looks like for those of you who are not here. And we're going to go over this weekly to-do worksheet, which is also where we're going to work today, so I just wanted you to see what it looks like. Other than that, at the end of last year in December, we did an I will statement. So for those of you who are new from December and did not come to our goal planning, you're going to do an I will statement. I have lots of these at the office, so when you're here, I'm going to ask you to do an I will statement, and then we put it in an envelope, and you will read your I will statement at the end of the year at our next year goal planning, kind of have an idea, what did I actually do this year? Did I do everything that I said I was going to do? Did I make those phone calls? Did I take those action steps? So this is just kind of a promise to yourself. So this we'll discuss at the end a little bit, because I want everybody who's new to really go through that. Otherwise, everybody who's not new and you've already done your I will statement, we're not doing another one, okay? You're only doing one per year. All right, so let me go back to presenting here so that I'm not just my face. All right, so let's reach our goals in 2021. The 5 golden rules to goal setting. So when you guys are ready to start setting your goals, which is hopefully today, and we're talking about that, focus goals, you want to make your goals, one, set goals that motivate you. So if you're like, my goal is to, sell 2 or 3 houses this year. Okay, that is not motivating, and everybody can do that, right? Like, you can fall into a deal and sell 2 or 3 houses in a year. Make a goal that's like, I really want to do this, and why? Well, what is it that I want to do? What's going to motivate me to do that? Or you want to go on a vacation, or whatever the case is, okay? Number 2, make sure that your goals are SMART. We'll go over what SMART is in just a second. 3, you're going to write your goals down. That's exactly what we're doing today. Write your focus goals on your worksheet. And then when we really get down into the nitty gritty of like our 90-day year worksheet, then we'll get to write those down a little bit better. Make an action plan. That's part of what we're going to do today. And then 5 is stick to it. Like, no matter what you say, we can sit down in workshops like this all day, every day. But if you're not doing the things that you say you're going to do when you're not here, when you're not in front of me, when you're not in the office, you're not going to go anywhere. And I'm not trying to be harsh or ugly, but that's the reality. If you sit and wallow because you haven't had a deal in 3 months, you're not going to get a new deal, no matter what. Unless your mom feels bad for you and decides to sell her house and then has nowhere to live because there's no inventory on the market. Get out there, talk to people, make your phone calls, knock on doors. I mean, it's getting old school again, because there's no inventory. So what are you doing to make yourself better this year? All right, moving on. I'm going to do a really quick video on commitment. Okay, so you guys think about, being proactive and doing what you say you want to do, and staying committed to those action steps while you're watching this video.
Everybody wants to prize, but nobody loves the process. Everybody wants to be a champion, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to be a champion. Everybody wants to hold up the trophy and say, man, I did it, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to do it. I love the process. I love the thought of working for what I want. And I firmly believe you're never supposed to wish for it more than you're willing to work for it. Your expectations never supposed to exceed your effort. But a lot of people, they wish, and they're not willing to work. And the great thing about life has a funny way of testing all of us and seeing how bad we really want what it is that we say we want.
What if you get weak along the way and you throw in the towel on yourself, you surrender to your emotions? What then? A lot of people become discouraged, they become frustrated, and they say, oh, what the heck? And they go back to doing what they were doing before, saying it doesn't work.
Take quitting out your vocabulary. Take it out. Cry if you must. Rest if you must. But the worst thing you can do is quit. When you want something bad, you can't count the cost. Because if you count the cost and you see how much it costs, you might give up. So you got to go in knowing that I don't count the cost. I do as many reps as it takes. I study as long as it takes. I pay whatever the price is. You get to a point when you don't count it. You just do whatever it takes to get whatever you want.
Put yourself in a position where you can't retreat, where it's do or die, sink or swim. Here's what you'll find out. You'll develop incredible swimming skills. You'll find yourself stroking unlike you've ever seen before. Through the inspiration of desperation, you become more creative than ever before. Throw your whole self into it. So as we look in the future, we can decide that from this day forward, as I look at all the dimensions of my life, looking at myself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, I'm going to do all I can do to develop me.
When you leave, what you fighting for? What's your legacy? What you gonna do? You say you a champ, but do you practice like a champ? You say you a champ, do you fight like a champ? You say you a champ, do you have the mentality of a champ?
The universe responds to the man or woman that refuses to be denied. You've got to be willing to stand there and face disappointment, not have support, doubt yourself sometimes, be rejected again and again and again, and refuse to turn around until life gives it up. Nothing can resist a person that has that kind of commitment.
Right? Makes me want to work real hard.
A punching bag,
For real punch.
and the opposite.
But that had a tighter piece.
All right, guys. So yes, that is specific, like more specific to being an athlete. But really, in real estate, we are athletes. We have to practice. We have to be committed. We have to stay committed. We have to work the same way as an athlete does. Failure after failure. They said do it again and again and again. That's rejection. And that's basically what we look at every single day, because people don't really like us. To them, we're salespeople. But we're not salespeople. We're relational people who offer a service. To remember that when you're making those phone calls, and make sure that remember that it's not personal. When you get hung up on again and again, and you get yelled at, and you get cussed at, and you get, like, I hope your mother dies. I mean, I've heard the worst stuff. I've heard absolutely the worst. I promise. It's been bad in my phone calls when I did it. But what it turned out being was just people who were called multiple times. They're just frustrated, and they don't know how to point their frustration well. But that's okay. It's not their job to make us feel warm and fuzzy inside. But, after 700 phone calls, you have 3 or 4 solid leads of people who are ready to sell, ready to buy. Um, that's worth it because that's business, and you have to take the time every day to work in your business. Some people don't, some people just wait around for their friends to tell them they're ready to buy. And some people, like Nadeem, walk into a new build, and as they're walking out, they're like, hey, here's my card in case you don't want to use the salesperson. Take every opportunity you can to reach out to those people. All right, we talked about SMART goals. How are you going to make your goals SMART? It's obviously an anagram for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So make sure that when you're setting a goal, it's specific, especially when we're talking about our 90-day year, because the 90-day year takes 1/4 of your year and basically works that 1/4 really, really hard. So not only are you taking your 1-year goals, you're breaking those down into quarters. So they're such small bites of information, of tasks, of action plans that you can be very specific, measurable. What, is it, I want to do good in real estate. That is not a measurable goal. It's a great thought, but it's not a measurable goal. What do you mean by good? I want to make the Millionaires Club this year. Okay, that is a measurable goal. You have to sell at least $1 million of homes. Okay, so that has to be measurable. Achievable. Achievable means, especially when you're doing these smaller goal planning sessions, not your 5-year goal. Always aim high. It's okay if you're not going to achieve that. Like, in 5 years, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be making $1 million a year. That might be a little bit unachievable, unattainable, but if you're working your hardest, how close to that are you going to get? When I say achievable goals, I'm talking about your 90-day, being specific. You can't say in 90 days, I want to hit the Millionaires Club. That's not as normal for most people. It may be if you're working in commercial, or if you're working, those are different scenarios, but on a normal basis, most buyers are in the 300,000 range. Now, can you sell 1 house every single month, or 2 houses every single month? Absolutely. But if you're brand new in the business, you have no people that that want to buy. I mean, you don't know 12 people that want to buy and sell their homes today. It's probably not as achievable. But aim high, absolutely, but make sure that it's a goal that you're not going to be like, it's so far-fetched that I'm not really even going to try. It's got to be, just past your comfort zone. Relevant. Relevancy will help. It just helps you in the long run. So if your goal is this year to reach 1 million, be in the Millionaires Club, if your 90-day goal is just to get your database set, that's not relevant to, and it's not comparable to being in the Millionaires Club, because it's going to take a lot more to do that. Now, that's not to say I'm going to, in 9 days, get my, you know what I mean? When I say relevancy, it has to really pertain to the next step of goals. And then time bound. Make sure that you have a time frame. So this is perfect because we're doing a 90-day year. So we have our 1-year goal and we have our next quarter goal. Okay, so that don't worry about the time bound. We basically set those parameters for you. Types of goals. You've got long-term goals. You've got short-term goals. We've already kind of discussed that, so I'm going to skip over it. Long-term goals. How much money do you want to make? What are your transactions? What are your focus? We already kind of went through this. So I'm not going to go too much, but short-term goals, you do want to focus, like, what are my goals for this year? This year. How much money do I want to make this year? How many transactions do I want to do this year? What's my focus for this quarter? Because we're going to talk about, really bringing it into one theme every quarter. So you focus on one thing. Real estate, we wear every hat in the business, right? We're marketing, we're sales, we're customer service, we're the dog walker sometimes, we're beggars, we're choosers, we're everything in the book. Okay. Matchmakers, everything. So if you don't focus on one thing, like this, this particular quarter, I'm going to work on my social media presence, or this quarter, I'm going to work on my apartment locating, or this quarter, I'm going to work on Somebody say something? Okay. All right. So whatever your, focus is, make sure that you make those short-term focus goals priority. I'm going to skip that video and we're going to jump right into the 90-day year. So not 90 years, my bad, 90 days. 90-day year, obviously that's a quarter. And that goes back to our 90-day worksheet. So the first thing you're going to do, and it's number 1 on your worksheet, is pick a theme. What do you want to work on in the next quarter that's going to help you get to your ultimate 1-year goal? So I'm going to give everybody a couple minutes. Think about your 1-year goal, and then think about what you can do this quarter to start growing to that goal. And remember, there are 4 quarters in the year. My newbies, you have 3 quarters. So make sure that your goal is thought of that way, okay? Because we're going to do this all over again in December, and then you'll have a whole year. So what is your year goal for this year? Is it to sell 6 homes? That's okay. You guys, it does not have to be in the Millionaires Club. Is it to be consistent? That's a good goal as well. So what is your theme for this year? This quarter. Some example themes would be, building your social media presence, building your database, selling homes, listing property, building your listing business, building your buyer's business, making contacts with, building your team. So your team does not necessarily mean you have agents under you. When I first started out, I was called the Anderson team, and I had no team. My team was my lender, my title company, my inspection guy, my cleaning lady, I made them my team so that I was this one-stop shop. I had the answers for everything. So what is your goal for this 90 days? For those of you who are not new, think about this. What was your theme in your last 90 days? And write that down as well. What is your theme this 90 days? And do they coincide with each other? Because they should. You should be taking steps up. Okay? Even lateral steps are okay, but you don't want to be taking a step back. If last quarter your goal was, get 3 transactions under contract, and this quarter is build my database, that might be acceptable for someone, say, like Kyle, because he's in a new city. But if you're here in the same market, you should be going, taking a step up and not a step back. All right, so what was your theme for last quarter, and what is your theme for this quarter? Make sure you're stepping up.
That's number 2.
Nope, that's just a quick repeat, and we're going to move on. All right, guys, so step 2, you're going to define your outcome goals. What outcome goals do you have? An outcome goal is measurable goal. So pick your theme. May have been, I want to grow my social media presence, or I want to grow my database. So what is your measurable goal after that? If you want to grow your social media presence, how many more people do you want to grow by? If it was, I want to grow my database, how many people do you want to grow in your database? If it was, I want to build my seller business, how many sellers do you want to talk to this year in order to, reach the goal of building your seller business? So this is only, you're only going to pick 3 measurable goals. So let's say I want to build my seller business. My goal number 1 is to add 100 seller prospects into my database. My second goal is to email every single one of those people, once a week. My third goal might be to call, 5 people a week or something like that. It might be touches, it might be, and then my ultimate goal outcome is to sell 3 homes in the next 90 days. Not buy them, sell them, list them, put my sign in the yard. Those are measurable goals. It's okay. Only you have to read it.
That
Am I gonna understand myself?
will be your goal, to understand my own handwriting.
Learn to write.
Number 4, learn to write.
I am not a doctor. Put that.
It's okay if you can't read your own handwriting. You can read it right back to yourself when we're done on a voice memo on your phone. Okay. Moving on. Number 3, performance goals. So your performance goals are general activities that you can control. So if your measurable goal was, I'm gonna, make 5 phone calls every day, then your performance goal is just a general activity you can control. You can't control if you only make 5 phone calls if one person actually talks to you. But what you can control is, I'm gonna not give up on those phone calls when I get hung up 4 times. If somebody cusses me out, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna quit my phone calls today. Or something else you could control is, I want to, I'm gonna make those phone calls from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. every single day, period. Because you can control your own schedule, okay? So think of some general activities that you can control.
Can I add something? In my experience, a lot of people are not cold callers. It's the worst thing. It's like somebody holding a gun to your head and making you do things. But I've seen that also works for people who are scared of cold calling, to be more proactive on the daily activities that you do. It's like you step out of the house, your goal should be, somehow strike a conversation with somebody. You're in a grocery store, you're in a, God knows, standing in a line somewhere to get something. There's always, and it has never failed for me, that there is an opportunity and there is somebody standing in a line who is interested in hearing what you have to say about what you're doing. Yesterday I was at Costco and I was at the members desk and I was getting a price adjustment done, and that price adjustment ended up in exchange of business card.
There you
for
go.
Purchase. So there is nothing saying that you cannot bring your business in the conversation. You just need to have the art of how you're going to incorporate that in your conversation. And that always worked for me. And I think in a day I can have, without a hassle, 2-3 conversations when I go out. And I give out 2-3 business cards for sure. And the result do come.
They do. Awesome. Thank you, Nadine. All right, so you guys go ahead and take a couple minutes to write down your performance goals, a few things that you can control. What time are you going to prospect? Are you going to make every conversation a business card handout? What are a couple things you can control in your day that helps you to reach those goals?
especially for a
I
single young guy.
got hung up so many times. I love it.
Yeah.
And I got one meeting from the, when they gave me some expired listings. And I got one meeting on Friday from that expired listing.
Cool.
So hopefully it goes.
fantastic.
So I love it. It's gotta help. Yeah, this is one of those again. Cool. Okay, cool. Next.
Next.
When you do
All
the
right.
ladies, man, you should not have a problem. You should always go like,
How you doing?
Here's my business card.
Oh gosh. Eduardo and Nadim, we're talking ladies man stuff here. So we're gonna move on. Moving on.
Maybe we can tie up together someday.
All right. So for those of you who are here in December, we just talked about outcome goals and performance goals. For those of you who weren't, don't worry, just think this through because you're gonna do this next time. What were your outcome goals for the first quarter? There were 3 of them. So what was your initial theme and what were your 3 outcome goals? Did you meet those outcome goals? If not, why not? If yes, give yourself a round of applause and a pat on the back because you are fantastic. But if you didn't, it's okay, but why not? And what can you adjust to do it better this quarter? That's why we meet every quarter on these goals.
It takes to complete tasks, it takes to complete performance. Oh.
I haven't moved on there yet, Eduardo. Could you just wait?
Where are we at?
Number 3.
Right now we're
Still?
still on 2 and 3. We're
Okay,
just,
sorry.
yeah,
Okay.
we're just thinking about what were our outcome goals and why didn't we meet them or why did we meet them last time?
Because I was lazy.
Because I was lazy, because I was scared, I didn't have the right tools.
Because I got my stimulus check.
I got my stimulus check and I didn't have to. If really, write that down. If it's something that it was like, I don't feel like I had the right tools, I don't feel like I had the right scripts, I don't feel like I had the right, write that down and come talk to me, okay? Because let's fix it. We can fix it. I want to make sure you guys meet these goals this time. All right, moving on. Daily tasks. So your process goals, and remember that we're going backwards. So we start out with our theme for the 90 days. We moved on to our outcome goals, which are going to be, what can I do? Measurable thing. What are my measurable goals that I have? So those are your goals there. Then number 3, what are my, performance goals? What are things that I'm going to do that I can control? I'm going to time block. I'm going to be in the office, whatever those things are, okay? Number 4 is, okay, what are the processes that it takes to meet your performance goals, that it takes to meet your outcome goals that meet with your theme, okay? So your process goals, they're tasks that take you to complete your performance goals. So if your performance goals are general activities you can perform that you can control, I'm gonna be in the office 3 days a week. What tasks are you gonna complete in order to be here 3 days a week? I'm going to move my schedule around. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. If your performance goal is, I'm going to prospect 2 hours a day, every day, no matter what processes are you going to take inside those things you control, okay? So quick example, if your performance goal was, I'm going to prospect 2 hours every day, no matter what. Your process goals in those 2 hours. My prospecting is 1 hour of, phone calls, or 30 minutes of phone calls to my database. That's process goal 1. 30 minutes of emails to the people I called last week. That's process goal number 2. I'm gonna meet 5 new people a day. That's process goal number 3. Things like that. Okay, so think about your process goals that you're going to do inside your performance goals. Performance you can control. Process are the tasks that you do in that controlled time. Yes.
When I always put my license number in something, I
Mhm.
always have to have the 0 in front of it, right?
Mhm. Well, it depends. What are you putting it in? Some systems don't accept it, and some systems require it.
And on the offer,
It does no. You're okay if you didn't put it on the
Okay.
offer. Yeah. All right, guys. So your process goals. For those of you who were here in December, what were your process goals last year? I mean, for your first quarter. Did you do those things? If you didn't do them, why? Why didn't you perform your process goals?
these are the people that already have it, right?
Yes, this last question was for the people who already done it. All right, make sure you write down your why if you didn't reach your goal, okay? Because I would love to chat with anybody who felt like they couldn't reach their goal because of some sort of restriction or constraint. Let me know. Let's talk through it, let's fix it, and let's move forward, okay? I'm gonna go to our persistence video before our work ethic video, before we go into stay persistent, okay? So here's a little bit more motivation for you on work ethic.
Do some push-ups.
Do some
The key
push-ups,
with me
guys.
is no one will outwork me. No one. I love and I respect you guys. Motherfuckers won't outwork me. All starts with this. 2 hands.
Are we gonna be able
Put
to
it to work.
use 401ks money
You cannot
when you start
erase
accepting
the work
investors
ethic
for the new
part.
company? Yes.
There is no getting around. Ain't no elevator to the
Last
top.
night I
You
had a
got to
call from a
take the
group of
stairs.
people. They
The
saw me
elevator
on
don't go to the
media
top,
and
man.
about me doing the
Not in the
presentation.
world of success. You
Yeah,
gotta take
they're
the
like,
stairs.
would you
Y'all
like
gotta
to do
start
these
getting
kind of
gritty,
things for
man.
our
I
organization?
hate it when I
I
see
said,
young people wasting their time, wasting all this technology,
and they're already
just sitting around
trying to give
in this
somebody
world that's
5 of
been
them.
created for
Like
you, and
right now in a
everything
small
is
business,
instant.
like
But
20
if you
grand
can
a piece to some
combine
guy with
your
no experience in
technology
investments, no
with your
nothing,
parents
because he said
and
he
your
can make it
grandparents' work
20%, and I
ethic,
said, no,
you could be
you can
rich.
shoot yourself in the foot if you want.
Just
But
ask
don't
yourself
do
this
that.
week, do people know
So
you for
they're
your
like,
work ethic?
can we
No,
get
people
together?
like
And I
me,
said,
you work
absolutely,
hard.
call me.
But
And I
people
said,
actually
you know, I can
commenting
meet
about
with
you
you
showing
guys
up
for a
early and
coffee or
staying
something,
late. Because if
and
they're
we can talk
not,
about it, and the
they're
conversation
just blending in with
led
everybody
to
else's
like,
work
hey,
ethic.
my brother
At the
overseas
end of the day,
has
talent
like
will not win the
almost
game.
$500,000 that
It
he
is
would
work
like to
ethic
do
that will win the
something.
game.
What kind of returns I can look into it? And I said, something
You
we have to
gotta
get
get
face to face
gritty,
to
man.
discuss that.
You gotta develop some dog in you. You got to get messed up sometimes. You got to get dirty. You got to get your feelings hurt. You got to get disappointed. You got to get told no. But in order to get the life of convenience, you got to have a very uncomfortable life. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
And you're always gonna have haters, and haters are like, well, damn man, how much are you gonna do? Like, you do a lot of I say, yes, it's my ambition. Of course, you gotta work every day. It doesn't end. And when shit goes bad, it goes sideways, or you're coming through this injury, or people are writing you off, it should drive you.
If you're gonna get it, you have to have that dog. You got opportunity. So here's the deal. When you have an opportunity, why would you give 80%, 70%? Why wouldn't you always give 120%? From today on, you play whatever your best game is, you play that level every single time. Every time you practice, you don't care what the circumstances, what the situation is, every single time, you give it 120%. It doesn't mean you're gonna score every time, but you can always give 120% effort.
All right, so just kind of pushing back to performance goals, general activities that you can control. You can always control your effort. So make sure that you are, you're taking the time to do that, and you're putting the effort and the work in, because guys, you're working for yourself, right? The work only benefits you, and the lack thereof only messes with your goals, with your intentions. So make sure that you really are, taking the time to put that effort in. Do what you say you're going to do, because otherwise this business it can break you. It can break you financially, it can break you emotionally, but if you're doing what you need to do, come into the office. You need somebody to be your cheerleader. I'm happy to tell you how fantastic you are when you're sitting there doing your work. Okay? Sometimes we do. We need somebody to tell us that we're fantastic, and that's okay. But I can't do it if you're not here. Okay, so make sure that you are doing those process goals that you set out to do. Okay, moving forward, stay persistent and focus. So obviously our whole business is built around the focus philosophy. We treat people like family. We create win-win opportunities. We have transparent communication, unique situations. We cater to those, and we support you from start to finish. I do that for you. You do that for your clients. If you stay persistent and focus, you can't not do well. Okay. So stay persistent. What motivates you? Right now we're not really, this isn't a task. This is what motivates you. Is it money? That's okay. If money motivates you, fine. Is it your kids? Awesome. Write it down. Is it just like knowing that you did something that you set out to do? Great. Write it down. What motivates you? Why do you get up every day? Why do you come to work every day? My bills motivate me because I'm going to be poor and homeless if I don't pay my bills. That's fine. Write it down. But think about other stuff too. I mean, sometimes it is very mechanical. My bills have to be paid. I have to work. But you can work at McDonald's. You can work at anywhere, depending on what your skill set is, and make money. But why are you doing real estate? Do you like working with people who are, coming into like a new chapter of their life? Does that bring you joy? Do you like that you get to control your career and your day and your time? Does that bring you joy? Write those things down. What motivates you in real estate? You don't turn this worksheet in, guys. This is all for you, okay? Don't be embarrassed to write down whatever it is that actually motivates you. Okay, lucky last on our 90-day year worksheet is accountability. How will you stay accountable to everything you said on your worksheet? It's so easy to write this stuff down and to be motivated with our little videos and then to put it away and forget all about it and not think about it. You can do that. This is your business. But we do this together, and we put thought to paper so that you can grow. If you don't want to grow, that's fine. But I know that every person that I've brought into this company has goals. They have drive. They have purpose. And if I just wanted a bunch of, sheep that don't really care and just happy to pay their $100 a month and move on, and if they get a deal, they get a deal, that's great. But I like determined people, and I know everybody in this company is determined. So don't just throw it to the side. Look at it every once in a while. Put it at the front of your notebook so you look at it every day. Did I do everything I said I was going to do on the daily basis? Look at it every month. Look at it every couple of weeks. But make sure that you're staying accountable to yourself. It's hard to do. It's hard to do when you're on a diet. It's hard to do when you have a gym goal. It's hard to stay accountable to yourself. So how else we can stay accountable? I'm available. If you guys want to turn these worksheets into me, I'm happy to hold you accountable to what you say you're going to do. I'm not your mom, so if you don't do it, you don't do it. But I'm going to ask you why. Why didn't you do it? If you're not comfortable using me as your accountability partner, find somebody in the brokerage that you're comfortable with. And you guys call each other on the daily. Hey, what's up? Did you do your process goals today? Did you do your performance goals today? What was your performance goal? Maybe you guys just know that Eduardo's performance goal is to prospect from 9 to 11, and Nadim's performance goal is to hand out 5 business cards a day. So maybe they call each other, once a week. Hey, were you able to do your 25 cards? Were you able to prospect 2 hours a day? Yeah, well, except for Thursday. All right, cool, no worries. What happened on Thursday? if you know you're getting that phone call, sometimes it motivates you to do it because you don't want to be the one who didn't do their thing, you know. Find an accountability partner, guys, even if it's me, if it's somebody else in the brokerage, if it's your mom, if it's your spouse, if it's your kid. I don't know about you guys, but my kids are annoyingly hold me annoyingly accountable. My daughter's sitting right here. When I say, I'll get you McDonald's on Friday, Nadia, Friday comes along and she's like, where's my McDonald's? And I'm like, what are you talking about, McDonald's?
When you say you're going to get me McDonald's, I expect
All right, so find your accountability person. Write it down. If you don't have anybody, I will post a post on Facebook that says, who wants to be an accountability partner? And you guys can just comment with each other. Okay, it'll be on our Facebook group. So we can try and get some accountability going. Guys, I want you to succeed. I want you to grow your business. I want you to love real estate, and I want you to get out of it what you intended to when you went to go get your license. When you first thought, I'm going to be a realtor. That's a fantastic idea. Why? Why did you want to do it then? Because you should still want to do that same thing now. Okay? All right. So we are going to spend just a couple of minutes on the weekly to-dos. So this kind of goes back into our process goals. So think about your process goals that you had, which was number 4, the tasks that you're going to do, inside your performance goals. And this particular worksheet has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then sometime this week. I'll email this out to everybody who's not here, but think about it like on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, I'm going to be in the office. Maybe write that down. Every day of the week, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm going to prospect from 8 to 9 a.m. and 7 to 8 p.m. On Saturdays, I'm going to make sure I at least visit 3 open houses. On sometime during the week, I want to make sure I follow up with my accountability partner. Or if you guys have a set day, you obviously don't have that right now. So other things that you want to get done. So think about, what are you doing Mondays? What are you doing Tuesdays? Set yourself a small schedule of what am I going to do this week and every week. I gave everybody 2 copies of this sheet. I'm going to email it out to everybody. I'm going to put it in the files section of our Facebook group, as well as in the Google Drive. Feel free to print more if you want to. I have to have things written down. I have my Google Calendar. It reminds me all the time, but if I didn't write it down, it almost didn't happen, and it's never going to because I forget. So make sure you're writing down a couple of things here.
I can volunteer if somebody wants to meet on a weekly basis here in the office, and we can sit down and help each other motivate or do whatever.
All right, so Nadeem just offered if anybody wants to come in the office and do some motivational accountability, he'll be in the office. We'll make sure to get that in the Facebook group chat where you guys can kind of talk through who wants to do that. Or you can call Nadeem directly. So I'm going to give you guys, I'm actually not going to give you too much time on this weekly to-dos. I'm going to go ahead and move forward because I don't want to keep you in this meeting for too long. Take some time today. Take some time after this call to fill out those weekly to-dos. What I do want to jump onto right now is the I will statement. So Eduardo, Emmy, I think Angela was with us last time. I think Jose was with us last time. I think everybody else who's here was with us last time. So just be Eduardo and Emmy. The I will statement. It says, I will blank. I am holding myself accountable to this in 2021. Signed, blank, date, blank. Okay, so what that is I will, what's your major goal for this year? I will make the Millionaires Club by December. And then the statement after that says, I'm holding myself accountable to this in 2021. You're going to sign it. This is a legal binding contract with yourself and date it. and stick it in your envelope. So I gave you an envelope. Emmy, you're not here, so you can come up and do this. I know we had talked about getting together today, so if you're here, you'll just do this here. You're gonna put it in your envelope, seal your envelope, and write your name on it. In our December 2022 goal planning meeting, I'm handing those back out to you guys, and you're going to read your statement in front of the class, and you're going to tell us if you kept up your end of the bargain. So fun stuff.
Putting everybody on the spot.
Putting everybody on the spot. It's fun though, you guys. And you know what? We're not here to criticize or judge. We're here to hold you accountable and help you to grow. That's the whole goal of this business, right? I want you to be successful. I want you to come in and think, oh yeah, I made more money doing real estate than I would have working my IT job. I want you to love this, and I want you to succeed. And I don't succeed if you guys don't, you know? So it really is my best interest to make sure that you're getting where you are, where you want to be. All right. So for Eduardo, go ahead and put your I will statement in your envelope and give it to me. Emmy will do yours later. Everybody else, we are done. Thank you so much. I'm going to do one more video if y'all want to stay on and watch the last video. Otherwise, feel free to jump off. And I don't know what that sound is, but you versus you.
People have this reoccurring nightmare that there's some force that's got a hold of them and it's holding them down and they can't break free. No matter what they do, they can't break free from that force. Well, I'm here to tell you that thing in your nightmare, that thing that's holding you back, that thing that's dragging you down, that thing is you.
There are two fundamental attitudes toward life and its sorrows. Those with the first attitude blame the world. Those with the second ask what they could do differently. It's much easier and much more gratifying to your basest desires to blame someone else for your misery.
You know what's so funny? We want people to make guarantees to us,
Eat some
but we're
donuts,
not willing to
guys.
make guarantees to ourselves. That's the problem with some of you. You always want to blame other people.
That's
You
a
always
celery
give an
stick.
explanation.
It's a round
You need to
celery
look at
stick.
yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put
That's
yourself
carrots
on
and
first.
celery in there.
You need to tell you, no more TV, no more snacks, no more dessert. No, we working out now. You need to tell you that you owe you something. Every day I demand more from myself than anybody else could humanly expect. I'm not competing with somebody else, I'm competing with what I'm capable of. My number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You gotta be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you. I value myself enough to give 120%, or don't do it. There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse. You walk out of this room, you owe yourself. I didn't keep you making excuses. What changed? I changed.
You should, right?
I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press forward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power every single day to become a victor and not a victim. Why? Because I owe it to myself. And nobody stops me from me.
He gave me, he said, 2 weeks or so, find it.
Yes. Eduardo said, imagine waking up to this every morning and then
Yeah.
just
That doesn't remind me of waking up. That doesn't remind me of alarm.
Put over the.
All right, guys. We had a great time today. I hope you got a lot out of this goal planning. If you guys, like I said, want to talk it through, let's, get together, get on my calendar. I love you guys, and I missed you all this last week that I was gone. But I actually worked on this class this morning because I got to talk to all of you yesterday. impromptuli. So if you could please just jump on my calendar, it helps me schedule so that I'm still making sure I'm doing everything for you guys that I promised you I would, like total brokerage and all that good stuff. I love talking with you. I love sitting with you. Just jump on my calendar. Let's schedule some time, okay? Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Bye, Jose.
Where you at, Jose?
Jose.
What's up with it?
Where you at, man? I missed you here. My partner in crime.
I'm in the twilight. I'm in the twilight zone, bro.
Oh, damn. All right.
All right. We'll see you soon, Jose. Those of you on Facebook, please comment in the comments that you were here because I didn't see you. I'm ending the call now. Bye. My Facebook Live friends, anybody on here, make sure you comment in the group, okay? I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Thanks, guys.